Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for clicking in. I so much appreciate that from you. This is a Pluto tarot reading. As you know, Pluto is retrograded right now, and this is the fourth week that we've been retrograded in Pluto. And this is a collective reading and everything, but the biggest thing that I had a dream last night, and the dream was basically be careful what you see. I had a dream that I was sitting on the couch with my mother, and my mother was looking at something, and she looked up at me and she said, "People are watching. People are watching." And it sounded like she was saying, like, referring to social media accounts or things online, news articles, and everything. And she said, "You don't watch, or else you'll be affected as well. People are watching this karma going down, and you don't watch because if you watch, you'll get like karma too, right?" So today's message is really about be careful about what you see. Be careful about what you let yourself take in. Be careful about information, especially if it's false and you know it's false. Be very, very careful, because when we look at something, and even on social media, even whether or not you look at it, you like it, whether or not it counts as a view or not, you're giving it energy, and you don't want to be part of giving energy to a false narrative, or giving energy to somebody or a business or um, an organization that's not karmically correct. Because when they fall down and they get their karma, all the people that are watching, that are giving it energy, and that in how they use that energy to grow, they're going to get karma too. Okay? So be careful what you watch. This is big this week. So this reading is also going to be divided into 5 parts. We're going to look at the spiritual overview, and then we're going to go into spiritual messages, and then intuitive effect, so your intuition and emotional effect, then mental effect, and then we're going to see how everything plays out, okay? Okay, so on the first part with the spiritual effect, right now what we have is we have thought upside down. That's the basis, right? So your thoughts, your mind, what you're bringing into your mind, what you're letting yourself see, what you're letting yourself be exposed to, right? And we have the King of Fire in the center energy. So these are people that are passionately going down the wrong path, people in organizations that are passionately going down the wrong path, and passionately allowing people to believe lies. So this is even this is going to go from news articles, all, and it's going to trickle all the way down to even in our personal lives. So even people that may be on social media, and you may know them or you may not know them, but then they're posting things that are not the truth because they're trying to make people believe lies, and it's their passion to do that. That's their goal to do that. They're intentionally, you want to kind of not give them any sort of information, or not information, oh, might be information, but you also don't want to give them any energy, whether you like them or not. Even if you're watching something and you don't like it, you normally don't like this person, or you know that they're lying or whatever, don't watch it. Don't give them any energy right now. We have the Two of Pentacles in the past and the Four of Pentacles, or I should say, Two of Earth and the Four of Earth. So this is talking about last week, there was a lot to juggle, right? These energies, these organizations, and these people had a lot to juggle when it came to their foundations. Like they couldn't handle their foundations, or they couldn't handle, and probably and that could be their money, that could be their fan base. Things got out of control. Okay, that was last week. Things got really out of control, and they couldn't like manage whatever that they built. We have the crone upside down. So this is bitterness. It's causing bitterness right now. The crone upside down. It's causing these entities and these organizations and businesses and these people they're bitter. They're very bitter. They're very bitter, and they're very sour because their foundations are all rocked. Things aren't going how they wanted it to go. So in the near future, we have love and we have destiny. So this is throughout the week. Okay? This is throughout the week, love and destiny. That's the path. We love people to destiny, right? That's what I get from that. We love people to destiny. Yeah. There's going to be a big shift. So focus on that. Focus on the love. Focus on the people that's the destiny. All of this going down is really on purpose. It's destiny. It's supposed to happen, right? And then ultimately we have knowledge upside down and the two of air. This is at the end of the week. Not knowing balance. Not knowing the balance. Because we're going to have some people, we're going to have some things, and we're going to have, we're going to have two opposites. If you notice in this card, there's black and there's white. So two opposites, the yin and the yang, the balance, Libra energy, definitely. There's going to be bitterness and disorganization and anger. And then on the other side, there's going to be love and just not an intuition and knowledge about this is the way that things are going to go. And the collective is going, and when I say the collective, I mean the world is going to have to choose. What path are you going to go? What destiny are you going to go? Right? So now's a really big time to channel your energy on things that you want to grow, on things that you want to elevate, on things that you like. Because you're going to help that energy grow. You're going to help that energy be, right? And you kind of got to feel your way around what is right and what is wrong, because some of these illusions are really, really good. They're really good. Now, if you pay attention, there's always going to be a crack of some kind. And if you see a crack, or you have a feeling, or you're definitely like, you're like, I don't know if something's right, I would walk away from that and position your energy to point it somewhere else that you know fully as in alignment, which is spiritually, emotionally, mentally, knowing that, okay, I'm in alignment, that this is right. I'm not in alignment, that this is right. I'm confused when I look at this, but I'm for sure when I look at this. That's the energy that Pluto is taking us through this week. So now we're looking into spiritual pieces here. What are the spiritual messages? These are messages from God. These are messages from angels. These are messages from ancestors. These are also messages from our guides, okay? So the basis of everything is fear, conquering fear. Conquering a fear, conquering a nightmare or something. And what I'm feeling off of that card is energies are really, really utilizing fear right now. to push people towards an area. When you push somebody with fear, a lot of times the fear will take over and they won't think about, we tend to think about the logic or the practicalism, or like even how we feel about it, or our own minds second. We kind of go with the fear and go along with it. So this is conquering fear. That's the basis of it. And the Six of Swords here, and moving on to peace. That's how we're getting there. We're moving on to a mental peace by trapping fear and by trapping negative energies, fear, anger, depression, all that kind of stuff, right? Anxiety, we're trapping it so that we can move on to peace and the number 6 and get to the 9, which is conquering the fear. But before we conquer it, we have to block it out. And that's the justice. In the past, last week, there was justice. Last Pluto reading, we talked about like there was going to be karma, you know what I mean? So that's what happened. Justice, things were balanced out, scales were balanced. Justice with as far as exposure, justice being, this is justice, being able to let people go peacefully onto peace, and trapping the burdens and trapping the blockages so that they can move on, so that they can therefore conquer those fears, conquer those blockages. So now we're focusing on wish fulfillment. Remember what we talked about? Your wish fulfillment, that's where you need to aim your emotions at. That's where you need to aim your energy at and your focus right now, because your blockages, they can't touch you. And then we have the Emperor. Now that you moved from blocking or like trapping the blockages, and that's a justice, okay? You have to conquer your own blockages, but spirit can help you trap it so that you can learn how to do that, to give you some space to learn how to do it, so they're not overcrowding you and drowning you and everything like that. Then we went to wish fulfillment, focusing on your wishes, your desires. This is the beginning of this week. This is right now the energy that we're going through. Your desires. What are your desires for the world? What are the desires for you? What are the desires for your family? What are the desires for your money, your emotions, your mind, your love life, your career? So you're making decisions on that. We're going from focusing on that and manifesting that and building that in our head to, once we get to the latter part of this week, probably Wednesday, Thursday for some of you, and that's early, definitely this weekend by Friday, we're going to be in this Emperor energy. And that Emperor energy is, this is what I want. You're going to start making decisions. Okay? If you want to start a business and there's somebody who is taking your time and it's making it hard to start a business, right? Because they're taking a lot of time. Hey, you got to go. On the other side, if you want to start a business, you're starting to look things up. You're making decisions as an Emperor. You're making decisive decisions that are in your best interest, in your wishes' best interest, okay? And by the end of the week, we're going to see a tower. It's going to cause a tower. It's going to cause a tower on that fear. It's going to cause a tower on that demonic energy that may be around you, trying to hold you down. And it's going to break that structure. It's beautiful. So that's the spiritual message piece, okay? It's all about conquering fear. And on the journey and on the way of conquering fear, you guys are going to be conquering at least one fear, at least one this week. And even on a world level or a national level, it's also going to be, there's a fear that's going to be conquered. Okay. So now we're going to look into intuition. Okay. And this is the intuitive effect. This is the emotional effect, how things are going to be affecting you emotionally, your intuition. Oh, that's a lot. We'll put that to the side. So the basis of this is going to be looking at broken partnerships. Broken partnerships, two of cups upside down, okay? Things that don't work out with connections that you have with people. So a lot of you are have tried to work with somebody on something, whether or not that's a relationship, that could be co-parenting, that could be a business, that could be roommates. It could be working at a job and literally coworkers, but some sort of collaborative effort. This is going to be the failures, okay? People that you tried to work with, that you tried to build bonds with, that didn't work and it didn't work out. In the center energy, we have 10 of Pentacles and we have the 3 of Swords, which betrayed some sort of idea of family. For a lot of you, this is going to be a romance. This is how things are triggering you. This is how what Pluto is doing. It's triggering you personally. Family, money, stability. There was a betrayal. And especially when it comes to Pluto, this doesn't necessarily have to just be romance. This could be the government. You know what I mean? It really could. It could be a government system. It could be a job or whatever, but there was a betrayal when it came to a community. There was a betrayal when it came to a family and generational wealth and abundance, not just money, but yes, money, abundance of money, abundance of peace, abundance of health, abundance of the home. There was a betrayal. There's the center energy. It's so this betrayal, you're going to be triggered intuitively about the betrayal on the community, betrayal on the family, betrayal for generational wealth, betrayal on stability. In the recent past, so we're going to say last week, we have the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. Both of them are upside down. There was this is a situation that you had a hard time leaving. So you've been thinking about this situation. You've been thinking about this situation since last week. You were looking at the part of how you stayed in that situation, your peace, your personal peace, how you stayed in that situation. And mentally, you could not leave it. You were trapped emotionally and you were trapped mentally. Now you're looking at what you lost from that situation, which is the 9 of Cups. And let me say, it's in the same position as the spiritual messages. 9 of Chalices, 9 of Cups. That's right now. Your wishes, your desires, what you wanted, what your wishes were. What are the things that you wanted out of that situation, and how you didn't get it and how you were betrayed on that? Now, in the near future, we have the 4 of Swords and the Knight of Cups. So intuitively, you're going to be feeling the betrayal of the fact that, and this is throughout the week, because as you look at what do you want and everything, and then you think about, dang, that was never offered to me. That was never offered. Then you're going to move on. By the end of this week, you're going to move on from it. Page of Pentacles energy. You're going to move on onto something different, onto something new. And it's because the Justice upside down. Things were imbalanced. Things are. And the reason why you're moving on is because you got to finish throughout this phase because things are imbalanced. With the Justice upside down and the Knight of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles and the Star and the Five of Wands. Okay, let's break this down. Whew. Okay, this is a whole thing. Okay, let's break it down, okay? So we have the Justice upside down. This is why you're moving on. This is why you end up moving on. Because things are imbalanced if you don't. You're not meant to stay in that situation. Somebody does something wrong to you or they don't offer you something. You're not meant to stay you're not meant to stay a victim, okay? Not forever. You're meant to heal, you know what I mean? But you're not meant to stay a victim. And it was imbalanced because there was an offer here. Knight of Pentacles. That was meant to happen. An offer for stability that was meant to happen. To grow something, we have the Seven of Pentacles. This was to grow something, to get something together with this person. You're supposed to build something with this person. Intuitively, you know that you were supposed to build something. You were supposed to build a community. You were supposed to build a family. You were supposed to build a business. Ultimately, we have the Star upside down and the Five of Wands, right? And move into the Star upside down. So even though that was supposed to grow, there was no belief in it. And then there was just competition. So this is two people, two sides that were supposed to work together, but instead they had competition. There was competition in there. There's no belief that it'll work out. In order for anything to work out, you need to have belief, right? So the center energy off of that, as you're moving on, there's an Ace of Cups and there's a Five of Pentacles upside down. There's another connection. There's another connection through that loss. Because it is a loss. So the center energy is another connection with that loss. After that loss. You were feeling about all the things, once again, we'll touch on, you were feeling about all the things last week about how things were hidden from you, how you didn't see anything, things were hidden, there were lies, there was manipulation. Currently, you're on the Six of Swords and the Fool upside down. You're moving on and you're not taking another chance on this. Intuitively, that's what your intuition in the collective's higher self is really saying. Move on and don't take a chance on the past. Another thing that I've been kind of hearing today that reminds me is today I've been hearing over and over again, how many times does somebody have to say, how does somebody have to show that they're an enemy before you mark them as one? Moving on. Mentally, intuitively and emotionally, your energy is focusing on your wishes and what you want and your desires and moving you away from the chance that never happened, right? It's moving you away from that energy and it's moving you away to a more peace, more being at peace. Which, as you're thinking about the offer that never happened, it's going to go where you're going to get this week messages about the Knight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune upside down. This is energy about misfortune. This could be bad health. This could be bad karma, but you're going to be getting information about that intuitively as you're thinking about what was never offered, right? And the Five of Swords here. Ultimately, you're going to be getting messages. Now this is a little. Five of Swords talks about being ruthless, ruthlessly mean. You may be getting messages about somebody who spirit tells you they're in bad health, they have bad karma, but they and maybe spirit is telling you they're going to be ruthless. That could be spirit because there is a tower coming down of a negative structure. So that spirit giving you information that spirit's about to be ruthless to this person, ruthless to this organization, ruthless to this business, ruthless to this whatever system because they were ruthless. And now that you should be intuitively moving on to your new path, now that your energy is not mixed into it, where you're thinking about it and you're hurt about it and you're this about it, now that you've taken your energy off of it, now spirit knows, okay, now I can do what I need to do. And you're not going to get any backlash. Because what I say at the very beginning, what you pay attention to, what you focus your energy on, what you look at, you're giving power to. You're growing. You're growing that person's or entity or business or government's power, whether you like it or not. Be mindful about your power. Be mindful about how powerful you are as an individual. You are important and you're powerful. But now that you're getting your energy off of it, spirit's like, okay, now I can do what I need to do. I can do now what needs to happen can happen. Because when it cuts down, you're not going to be you're not going to be affected. So let's look at the cards that fell out on the bottom. Whenever they fall out on the bottom, I read this last. If they fall out right side up, then I'll read it first. Okay, so the first card that we have Knight of Wands. This is a lot of passionate movement, moving towards things that you want, moving towards things that you desire. Your passions, your desires in life. Two of Swords. Okay, so now this is where things get this is a bit competitive. You may have a lot of desires and they may be or I should say ideas. You're moving forward with desire and passion, but there are some conflicting ideas of some kind. So you're needing to balance these things out. That's your focus. This is what you're going to be busy on. Because we kind of focus on the karmic piece, but what you're going to be busy on is kind of balancing out your ideas. You have a lot of ideas. You have a desire. You have a lot of desires. So needing to balance all of those out. And then we have a tower upside down. There's a wobbly tower somewhere. It does cause a wobbly tower because when you're focusing on yourself, it's like what I've been saying. When you're focusing on yourself, when you're focusing on your forward movement, it shakes the enemy's foundation. So now this is upside down, which intuitively spirit is saying at the end of this week, a tower is going to come down. When spirit says that, it means that energy is coming down. It does not necessarily mean that it'll happen like right away, like the same day. Sometimes it will, but it'll happen in divine timing. And depending on the situation and what you're looking at and everything, the timing can be a little bit different. But it is bringing a tower down. So intuitively your higher self is going to be a tower is wobbling down, a tower is coming down. There is resistance towards it, but the resistance doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? There is a tower coming down because you are moving forward in your path and in your truth. So now we're going to look at the mental effect of all of this. So this is your mind, how your mind is going to be processing this, right? So the basis we have here, we have, Knight of Wands upside down. We have the Temperance and the Five of Swords. So once again, we're really talking about the basis of what's going on in your mind is kind of about the same, is the same thing. Somebody that didn't come in and things are balancing out for a Five of Swords, because this Knight of Wands, this other Knight of Wands, they didn't come in. This could be somebody that said that they were going to do something and they didn't do it. This could be somebody, a business, it could be your job that says, I'm going to give you a raise, and they didn't do it. Well, things are balancing out. And they about to get a Five of Swords. That's the five. They're balancing. Things are balancing out for this Five of Swords. Okay. So because of that, your mind is going to be thinking about a King of Wands upside down. That's the first thing. That's the first. All the King of Wands upside down. All the selfish people that just do what they want to do, regardless of any sort of effect, regardless of what anybody else thinks, or I should say, regardless of how it affects other people. And the reason is because things are balancing out with this. You've been moving on from this, though. The Chariot, you've been moving on, and you've been moving on pretty fast mentally. You know what I mean? You've been really moving on. There's been strong movement. Mentally, you are not trying to work with this person. You're not trying to work with this person. They are full of illusions. Three of Pentacles upside down. Seven of Cups. They're full of illusions. You're not trying to work with this person, which is very important. That's where your mind is at. You're like, I'm not trying to work with this person. I'm not trying to work with this personality type. Because it's not just about an individual. It's a personality type that we're talking about. Because this King of Wands, we have at the center of your mind, and the King of Fire upside down in the same position is at the center of what's going on this week when it comes to Pluto in retrograde. So you are looking at your experiences with this type of personality, this narcissistic type of personality. And you're like, I don't want to work with somebody like that in the future. Ace of Wands upside down. You're looking at all the opportunities that could have been, but was spoiled by a King of Wands upside down. Personality. There's a lot of them. You can have more than one that you've experienced. You can have some that you're experiencing now. Some of these people, they can be family members. You can be in a relationship with them. They could be your kids. They could be your coworkers. They could be your neighbors. And then we have the Death upside down. Something's coming to an end. That's how we're ending the week. Something's coming to an end. The tower is coming down. This stuff is, look, this is all about Pluto retrograde. But first, we're still in the phase of getting you ready, because if you're ascending, if you are ascending, you are top priority. You're the first priority. Descending is the second priority, because the descending, or the people that operate only in their lower selves, or they operate unbalanced. Let me say this: they're imbalanced when they operate. They're kind of like lessons. They're lessons, really, right? But for sure, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, there's going to be an alignment of knowledge of those situations are coming to an end. Even if you were to meet a King of Wands upside down now, let me tell you something. You're gonna walk away from this person, but I guarantee you this person has built up karma with other people, negative karma with other people. So they're gonna get it too, because of just their past. Just like you have encountered King of Wands upside down, all the King of Wands upside down, they're gonna come to a point where their stuff is going to be shut down. They're coming to a point where the tower is crashing on them. Their whole foundations are coming down. Now, we already went through a wave of karma, and this is another level of, as far as specifically with the King of Wands upside down, which is narcissistic people that are selfish people that just desire, 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 and they just take things. They're not reliable. They are quick to anger. This particular personality type is going to be going through, this is the prep. This week is the prep for them getting a karma. So this is how things are playing out. And this is because, let's see, the basis is Daughter of Cups upside down, Two of Wands, Three of Cups upside down, and Nine of Swords. Okay. Somebody chose not to say something. Could be an apology, could be an I love you, could be some sort of emotional honesty of some kind, or connecting with you emotionally of any kind. They chose that. They chose that. That's they had two paths to choose, and they chose that one. Not because it was easier either. They just chose it. They chose the path of gossip, overindulgence, addiction, cheating, lying. And they're in the Nine of Swords energy. They're in a nightmare. Now, this could be, maybe you chose not to say anything to this person. Maybe that's a choice. And it led to that. You know what I mean? But that's the basis. The center energy is the Fool energy. The Fool. It freed you up. While they thought that they were doing something to you because they were very malicious. Because remember, we're talking about a King of Wands upside down personality type. When it comes, and this is how people deal with when it comes to what they want and desire. They could have wanted a house from you. They could have wanted a child from you. They could have wanted they could have wanted your promotion. They could have wanted your business. That they wanted something and they did anything they could to get it. But really, what they did is they freed you up, the fool. You can go right, you can go left, you can go up, you can go down, you can just go straight, you can go backwards, you can jump around. You have freedom to do anything you want. Because the reality is, it was like they were kind of put it, you were kind of almost in a prison. So they played themselves because they let the it's like they let the prisoner go, trying to hurt the prisoner, trying to hurt the one that was trapped, dealing with their selfishness. And now it's like, I'm not going back. Some of you might decide, I don't know, and that's fine. But now it's for the most of you is like, I'm not going back. Because after I got over the pain and the missing and everything, I realized I got a lot more freedom. I can do whatever I want. I can literally build my life however I want it to be. Because in the past, you did not come through. Son of Pentacles upside down. And here we go again. God of Wands upside down. You're still selfish. You are still selfish. You still chose to be selfish. And this person is actively still, as we're doing this reading, still being selfish. And the Lovers upside down. Things are going to be breaking for this person. This is your choice. You're choosing not to go back, and that's justice. And you want to know something? Because of how they did you, nobody else is trying to work with this person either. Nobody else is trying to have a connection. Nobody else is trying to be in a relationship with this person. Nobody else is trying to be part of this person's family. Nobody else is trying to be part of this person's ideas and their dreams. Nobody else is trying to work with this person. And that's the justice. This person is ostracized. And Six of Cups upside down and the Nine of Pentacles upside down. This is about a memory about how they really thought about themselves. They only get to think about how they didn't think about anyone else. That's at the end of the month. I mean, sorry, maybe that might be at the end of the month because I just said that. Oh, you know what? Yeah, because we're doing this until the 29th. This is in effect until the 29th. So this is about, to the end of the month, May 29th. The memory is going to be all they can feel and think about is how they didn't think about anybody else. People are going to jail, love. They're starting to go to jail. Businesses are starting to come down that acted in this God of Wands upside down. These personality types, wherever they're hiding, wherever they're at, well, they shouldn't be hiding because this isn't a hiding type. Maybe when they get in trouble, they're going to hide. But it's coming down. It's on the process of coming down. They're going to be looking into going to jail. They're going to be looking into losing their foundations. They've lost the people because they're like, if you did this to that person, the divine person, if you did this to, or just if you done this to the collective, what you're going to do with me? If you did this to this person and this person helped you and this person came into work on time and this person, sacrifice A, B, and C for you. And now you looking at me to replace it because you screw them over? No. No. So that's what they're going to be facing because they were foolish. And there's going to be an end to everything that they tried to grow. An end. That's the justice. All right, everybody, thank you so much. And once again, this is a Pluto retrograde reading, week 4, and I will see you. We'll do week 5, obviously, next week on Monday. Okay. Thank you, Vibe Tribe. Bye bye.